Howdy. Yeah, the sun's not great. Sun's out, guns out, legs out, whatever. But, Oops. My mic's falling apart. Oh, I'll figure this out eventually, I promise. What's up, everybody? You're gonna get a little shade because, you know, it's Florida and the time of day I chose to do this. And I'm a hat guy, so whatever. I get the top half going, whatever. What's up, everybody? It's been an interesting 2022. It is still 2022 for at least another month. And as a lot of you know, I have chosen that if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you guys know that I have dedicated a lot more this year to work. So much so that I recently have received a promotion. Yay me, more work! No, but seriously though, it's an advancement and now a career path for me, as far as, you know, supporting the family, myself, and bettering myself. I'm absolutely honored to keep progressing up. So disc golf took a little bit of a back burner, but it really didn't, because I think I have my 12th or 13th tournament in 2 weeks. So I'm still playing tournaments. I'm definitely not practicing much, and it kind of shows in my rounds. I get one good round, one bad round, rec rob. It's never going to go away. It's always going to be, you know, that way until I choose to make it different. But what I did want to do for you guys, since it is the end of the year, you know, Goku, his legs have been knocked off, and Vegeta don't even have a body anymore. Kind of sums up how this year has been. I wanted to go through an in the bag. So let's go ahead and go through a full in the bag and what made my bag for this season. All right, so first off, I can put this down. I'm not throwing, so I'm gonna put it down. Okay, it's not in my hand. Stop, not in my hand. We'll go through the disc, and I'll hold the disc without touching the towel. I can do this. I know I can do this. So let's start from the top. We're gonna go with the putting putters. If you guys have been following me on social media, you know that I have made my journey through a ton of different putters, but my journey has finally ended for now on the atoms in the cosmic electron plastic, and these two just happen to be absolutely gorgeous. They are like the Proxy, but a little deeper, and it fits so comfortable in my hand. With my putting grip, it just feels so much comfortable. The digit of my finger can get right over the edge and hook on there, and it comes out of my hand super clean, and I'm really digging the atoms for putting. The circuit event is what hooked me on the atoms, because as you guys know, I did the review on Atom many years ago on the channel, just a quick review, and that was the last time I touched one. The circuit event put it back in my hand, and it hasn't left my hand since. So awesome atoms for putting. My throwing putters, the main ones I'm going to be throwing are my Proxies. I love my Proxies. I have 2 Neutron Soft Proxies. One, as you can see, it's been in there since the beginning, and then a fresher one just recently, and I'm talking like last week, I'm starting to see a little drift, of unexpected drift. I have thrown this disc probably more than any other disc in my bag, and it's taken, what, a year? However long it's been before I'm starting to see a little bit of unexpected drift. But now that I know that it's coming, I just give it just a touch more hyzer and I'm good. So I started putting a fresh Neutron Soft Proxy that still has a little bit of that stability at the end, but still very point and shoot. So Proxy's go-to throwing putter. If I want to get a little more technical, I have two different options. I have my Neutron Soft Envy. If I need a little more stability, if I'm scared, like today it's a little windy, I would like to throw this into a headwind more than the Proxy. And then if I need to go, it says this is yellow, by the way. If I need to go hyzer flip turnover, hyzer flip straight, any kind of touch out of the woods, basically it's a very understable beat up Envy. That's what I go to. So I have my overstable Envy, I have my really, really beat up Envy, and then I have my Proxies as my point and shoot putters. And then finally, the Cosmic Neutron Entropy. This is your classic overstable putter, mutter, mid putter approach disc. In the Cosmic Neutron plastic, I find to be one of the most stable out of all of it. So it can really handle a lot of torque and still fights out of it. Absolutely love the Entropy for those approach shots, especially on a sidearm. Let's move up to the mids. I got a few. Recently, I changed my whole logic, my whole thought process on mids, to be completely honest with you. As you guys know, I was bagging the Neutron Reactor as my go-to mid. That was mainly it. It was my reactor, my pyro, my deflector, but I have switched over to Team Hex. I'm gonna blame Eric Oakley for this. He was throwing some discs and he mentioned, he's like, you got a Hex, you know you can throw that really far, right? And I was like, huh, I've always just thrown the reactor really hard. So I ended up throwing the Hex a few times very hard, and it held whatever line I put it on. It was a longer Proxy, like spot on a longer Proxy. So the Neutron Hexes, this is 176, this is 176, they're amazing. They go forever. And they go forever however you throw them. It is a longer putter, and I absolutely love it. If I need to step up from stability from there, I still do bag a reactor. This is the Lab Second. It's a glow reactor. This is a gift from my son. He did not want to bag this. I think he went to solely a pyro and a Hex and a bunch of other miscellaneous discs because, you know, he can do that. But this Eclipse reactor is got a little fade to it compared to the Hex, and that's why it stays in the bag. If I need something more than a reactor, definitely going up to my Prism Pyros. The Prism Pyro is everything I wanted out of a mid on a sidearm. This, if I threw this 20 times in a round, 18 of it would probably be on a sidearm. This is if not the most comfortable, if not the most comfortable disc I've ever put in my hand for a sidearm. It is going to be overstable, but not beefcake overstable. And if you're good at controlling your angles, you can get some really crazy flares out of this. In my very, 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 very first videos with MVP, you can see some of that footage where, you know, I can get some big rainbow skips out of this guy. It's still in the bag, it's the same one, and it saved my bacon plenty of times. I absolutely love the Prism Pyro overstable mid. And if I need the beef, if I need the overstable mid that has no chance of turning over and I can throw it into, I haven't found a wind that I cannot throw it into, that's going to be the deflector. And again, this is in Neutron plastic. This is your beefcake. This is your workhorse mid. This is, I need to go a certain direction and I cannot have it do anything but that. You're going to throw the deflector. Stepping up from the deflector, we are going to go into some fairways. Some of these, to be completely honest, some of these might be labeled as distance drivers, but in my mind, these are going to be fairways. So let's start with, we'll go least to most. So right off the bat, least stable, it is the Axiom Virus. The Virus is 99% of the time, even at 174, is going to be my go-to hyzer flip roller disc. It might get thrown on, like, if I get pinched off in the left side of the woods and I need to throw a sidearm that just holds a super long ante around the corner, that might be a different time out of those 99 out of 100. But any other time, I'm going for rollers with this, and I'm getting a lot of distance on my rollers with this too. Conrad recently did it in the bag. I don't know who had it first, but I want to say I had it first, but there was a tournament on hole 1, and I cannot remember the name of the tournament. he was throwing a virus on a roller, and I was like, I need to try that, and I did, and I haven't regretted it since. So the virus is my roller. I carry my favorite fairways is the Crave. This is the Fission Crave. This is the Cosmic Neutron Crave. The Fission, this is one of the prototypes that they sent us. It flies just like the stock run Fission Craves that I've thrown. I just seasoned a little bit more. So what I get out of the Crave is a hyzer flip in this turn out of the Fission one that I beat up. And then I wanted something a little straighter, but I wanted it to be a Crave. I did have the old Glow Craves, the old one, you know, the $50, $100 ones. I don't like carrying discs that are super expensive in my bag, so I gave them back to the people that gave them to me. I want to go to a shelf and buy another disc. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's the rule me and my fiance have. Fiance, 10 years, whatever. That's the rule we have. If you can't go buy it off the shelf, you shouldn't really bag it, and that's the way I've always done it, and that's the way I like to keep going. So to replace the Glow, I went with the Cosmic Neutron. More times than not, in my experience, the Cosmic Neutron versions of a disc tend to be more stable than the normal Neutron or Proton, and they take a lot longer to beat in. And that's the same thing with this Crave. I can give it a hyzer, it'll flip up. It might get a touch of turn, but most of the time it's going to flip the flat and go. What's crazy about these 6.5 speed discs is I can get distance driver distance with them. They just go forever. If there's any disc in my bag that I would recommend everybody try, it's a Crave. It is by far my favorite disc, right up there with my Proxy, and you won't be disappointed. Definitely try a Crave. Moving up from the Crave, we are going to go with my Teslas. Yes, the colors on them are absolutely, look, I'll be blunt, they're hideous. I hate them. I don't like the colors, but I love the flight of these two particularly. They are your 9-speed overstable fairway, not beef, but stable. I absolutely love sidearming these guys. These are my go-to sidearm discs. If I need to get any kind of distance but control, I'm going with a Tesla. Super dependable workhorse. Don't throw them in the pine straw. If I need more stability on backhand or sidearm, it's of course going to be the workhorse, the Fireball. This is my deflector of the fairways. This is my entropy of the fairways. You know, if you need the workhorse, this is it. Everybody, if you've thrown a fire something, go with a Fireball. Fireball is the best fire out of all the other fires. Fireball. Up next, we're going to get into some of the distance drivers. Make sure I got them right. Yep. And I got a few. Starting off with the Jet. Hyzer flip turnover for days. This is my go-to understable distance driver. Massive rollers as well. It's a little harder to throw a roller with a Jet because of the rim. It falls off really quick, so it can get a little finicky on how it hits the ground. But when you hit that angle right on a roller, it goes forever. But mainly this is used, I have a particular course, my home course is right around the corner, UWF. Up and down the elevation there, I can throw this on hyzer flips, and I love it. Hyzer flips, streamline disc, Jet. Up next, the Zenith. The Zenith in Neutron, 169, 174. In 169, it's going to fly just like the production run Zeniths that I've seen so far. Hyzer flip, little turn, and it'll come back. It was a surprise when Conrad came out with it. I really thought he was going to stick with the Photons, which I still think he does bag them, but the Zenith is a workhorse. If there's no wind and I need to sidearm as far as I can, I'm going with this particular Zenith. It's mainly my sidearm driver. I tend to do that a lot. I tend to put a disc either on a backhand or a sidearm, and I tend to only throw them that way. It's just something I've always done. The Zenith is my sidearm disc. The blue one is 174. It is more stable, and I love it because I can still throw the sidearm when I want to throw it, except I can throw it into the wind and know I'm going to get away with it. If I have to go max D, as you can see, there's still dirt in it from last time. I have octanes. So this particular octane is only 156 grams. It is a fission octane. it goes forever. It goes absolutely forever. I just cannot explain how far octanes go. Octanes specifically, oh yes, it's still in the bag, specifically this one, this Neutron, old school, patent pending, heartbeat, pop top octane is what hooked me on gyro in the first place. My buddy Daniel, he always, I told the story and I'll tell it again, every time, no matter what I was throwing, I thought I put a move on it. And then he'd like, here you go. And this would go 50 feet by it. Every time, backhand, sidearm, didn't matter. This was going further. And I'm so happy that these fission ones came out, because out of the box, they're really close. Really, really close. Like, I absolutely love that I have both options on that. And finally, the workhorse of the drivers, the Panic. This is, don't panic, it's the Panic. Is it still as bright as it was on day one? Because it's still the same Panic that's in the bag. This is your deflector, this is your fireball, this is your entropy of the drivers. This is your overstable driver that will beat in, it will, because there's a lot of team members out there that actually hyzer flip these. You guys are hyzer flipping these. What? So you can beat them in to where it will hyzer flip, but I haven't been able to yet. This is an overstable run. It's a 13 speed. It's a workhorse. I put it there with the deflector, the entropy, and the fireball. That's in my mindset. When I pull that out, that's what I'm doing. As far as the bag is still awesome. I got flight towels everywhere. I got my Yeti coolers in the back. I got my range finders. I can't wait to test out the new MVP rangefinder. Right now I have the Bushnell. Goku and Vegeta, they've seen better days. I might need to refresh them. But that is what made my bag in 2022. I know it's just a quick run through. I know you guys were expecting a lot of flights, but I wanted to run through my bag with you guys at the end of the season. I have one more tournament this season, and then I guess we don't really have an off season. And I've already signed up for a tournament in January, and I'm running one in January. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep going. Yeah. Like the video if you liked it, hate it if you hate it, put it in the comments, do all the fun stuff that all the other guys say, you know, like 20% of you are subscribed or whatever the cool kids are doing these days. Do all that stuff in the comments. As always, guys, thank you guys for all the support. I'm super active over on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys want to follow me there, I'm on there daily. I'm always responding to your messages. I'm reviewing your form, man. The English is still hard for me, okay? Guys, I miss you. I do. And I'm gonna find a work-life balance one day, I promise. But for now, that's the end of the bag. I'm out of here. You guys have a happy holidays. Later. What is that? What is that? I miss you guys. Like, there's a video over here. I wouldn't mind if you watched it, but if you don't want to watch it, I understand. We're just gonna sit here and I'm gonna look at you awkwardly. You could just click the video over there, but